I'm selling Greyhound tickets at the booth outside, hence why I have the red jacket on. No, the British aren't coming. I just like the color red. We got a great show for you tonight. Lots of stuff I want to talk about since we last been together. Most of you are dysfunctional by now, and it's toxic season. Go Scorpios. Halloween's coming up, and right now, did you know, common statistic, the most trending Halloween costume right now is the murder doll from Squid Game. Probably didn't know that. I bet it kills. I'll show myself out. That joke was terrible. Also, some very scary ideas for Halloween costumes would be current gas prices, Joe Biden trying to remember the TV guide lineup, and more importantly, him trying to drive down the interstate without having his glasses on. I don't know about you, but that's pretty damn scary to me. Also, let's talk about Squid Game for a minute, and let's just rewind it back. What the hell is that show? Why are you guys into such morbid material when it comes to television? Something's wrong with you. However, it's a great show, so I will give you guys that. And at this point, if they're willing to put that on Netflix, I feel like Netflix should bring your boy on. And I feel like they need a talk show, so help me out. You helped out LeVar Burton on Jeopardy, to a certain extent, failures. As you guys know, the end of the season's coming up in December. I know it's October now, and by the time this airs, spooky season will still be in full swing. We need ideas. What do you guys want to see for next season? Do we want to start doing remote shots somewhere? A craft brewery has been on my bucket list for quite some time now. I just haven't had the time to do it. It's nothing like getting completely destroyed on the airwaves of America, and we love to see it. So, excuse me, good Lord. I'm not cutting that out. We've been together for a year and a half. You know what's up. Also, did you know that the Ohio BMV is about to start having kiosks in the building so you can renew your license plate? Honestly, that is a godsend for people like me that does not crave human interaction at all. I just want to give my money to the state that doesn't care about me and go. But to some people, especially those of the older generation, I won't say that word because they get very offended by it, they feel like human interaction is necessary. But my thing is, who wants to hear the same played out joke, are you working hard or hardly working? No, Robert, I'm working and I hate it here. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. Mikey from Mimi Cakes. I like sweets, but you can't tell because I'm rather slender. Be jealous of my figure. He's here, and you will probably see his creations at the desk, I guarantee you. They're very good, by the way. Highly recommend you hit him up for cakes, making the Gem City a sweeter place, one baked good at a time. Also, a good friend of my comedian, Drew Kirk, will be here. Other than that, unless you guys want to throw in some surprises or whatnot, we'll be right back after these brief messages.
It costs so little to teach a child to love, and so much to teach him to hate. These simple but profound words from our founder are at the core of each parenting strategy you'll find at boystown.org/parenting.
Teach me respect.
Teach me patience.
Teach me love.
Visit boystown.org/magnet to receive a Teach Love Magnet as a reminder that the change we want to see in our world begins at home, and Boys Town is there to help along the way.
Yeah, I think that looks better.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. The Amtrak train on track number 3 is now leaving. If you got that joke, 10 points for Gryffindor. I'm standing here with someone who makes the Gem City a sweeter place, and I love sweets, but you can't tell because I'm skinny. Envy me. Welcome to the show, Mikey. We're very glad to have you here.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be here.
So, have you been a Daytonian all your life?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Are you older than me?
Probably. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm 25.
Yeah, you're older than me. I'll be 24 on the 18th.
Oh,
November 18th.
I don't look older than you.
You do not. You look younger than me.
I was actually born in, raised in Kettering, so I don't know if I'd call myself a Daytonian, but.
Oh, you're one of those suburbs. You're one of
yeah.
those.
Now I'm a Daytonian because I'm broke. but, you know, that's that.
My man has moved from Kettering to Diet Kettering. We love that.
Kettering Zero.
Kettering Zero. Oh, man, I'm going to lose my show to a guest. Isn't that lovely? So is baking something you've always wanted to do, or is this something you just woke up and said, what the hell? Or
So it really honestly is something that I woke up and just said, what the hell? I am an artist. I'm a designer. I went to school for interior design. I started designing furniture with an ex of mine, and we built furniture together and had a company doing that. And during quarantine, I was very broke and didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I used to bake cupcakes for a restaurant, and so I decided that I would make art and cake would be my medium. And ever since then, it's just been going really great.
Well, I'm glad because we all love stuffing our waistlines with baked goods and not caring about the consequences later. So what's your favorite thing to bake? Are you more of a cupcake person? Are you a cake person? Do you like to go all out? Are you small scale?
Oh, well, I'm obviously not small scale.
As we can see. What America would like to know.
I started out as a cupcakery, so only cupcakes. I just thought that that was going to be easier, and no, it was not. I got requested to do my first cake, and ever since I've done my first cake, I have strictly been doing cakes. I do treat boxes every holiday. They're very bougie treat box that gets delivered to your house. Super bougie. And they're all designed for the holiday. Valentine's Day was a 3-day weekend. Each day was a different theme. Those boxes were 18 hours to make a piece, and it's just an art form, I guess.
That it is. So your treat box is like GoPuff, but for those with money.
Yeah, and you can't buy the things at my bakery that you can buy at GoPuff.
And this is why we're on at 10. We love that.
I've had some questionable things delivered to me.
Well, we all know what the follow-up interview is going to be. Please do not blow up the comment section. Damn it, I don't know.
You can ask.
You throws me on the spot like, ain't that a bitch?
Oh, I mean, if you would like to ask, you can, but it's about cake. It's just not about Mimi cakes.
Well, for those born after the year 1999, you should get the cake reference. I do, and if it went over your head, then maybe this might not be the program for you. Johnny Carson comes on at 11:30.
We'll drink to that.
So what is it that you have in front of me that's probably going to make me not be able to fit this anymore?
My absolute favorite flavor that I make is the Strawberry Cream Dream, which are my cupcakes here. They're a vanilla bean ice cream sponge. I melt down the ice cream for my cream and the batter. That's what makes it the vanilla bean ice cream. And then it's filled with homemade strawberry preserves, a homemade Mexican crema, and fresh strawberries, topped with my signature velvet vanilla buttercream.
Buttercream frosting is my favorite.
My buttercream frosting is going to be your favorite.
So if you could stop knowing me that well and we're just now meeting for the first time, that would be great.
Yeah, it'd be this weird thing, like it's not actually happening right now.
Not at all. Like,
Yeah.
we just clicked insanely. Like, you met me about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We love that. So what's the process that go, like, is there a certain ritual that you follow when it comes to baking? Because I know a lot of people do things a certain way all the time.
Yeah, so like I normally wait until the absolute last minute to get things done where there's no room for error, and then I go for it. And
I
normally,
knew we were going to be great friends.
yeah, and it normally just works out great. I put my hand to God and take the icing scooper.
For those of you that did not understand any of that, basically it is full send or no send. We mess around and we find out here. So we really don't care. If it fails, it fails. It's whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm very like, I'm a very much like life happens. Suck it up, sorry, love you. Send your money back. Have a great day.
Not the love.
You always have to put a love you. It's like LOL at the end of a bad, risky message, you know? You gotta lighten the mood.
A little toxic, but we like that.
Very
Spicy.
toxic, super toxic. I'm Mexican, okay, so. It's like in my blood.
Those are jokes you cannot crack on TV, but he can. So
I'm only
I mean,
half, so only half the time.
It's only half the time, so
Yeah.
for a solid 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
good.
for the interview.
And then you're just set for the rest of the week. You can't do it.
Yeah, I don't
anymore,
need
so
to. Yeah, just my license plate says Baramala. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what that means on there. But you can see it when you look at me. You'll know what it means.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
You'll
We
get
won't
it.
say it on the air because I would like to do this show for another 10 years. That'd be great. We're down to about 9.5. Let's keep it that way. So do you drink wine while you cook? Because I'm one of those kind of people. I do drink while I cook.
Well, I don't smoke cigarettes.
That's good. I can tell by the smile that it's not stained or anything. But
And I don't drink wine. I drink bourbon sometimes.
here you go. So you're a heavy hitter.
Yeah,
We like that.
yeah. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, right? Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Uncle Nearest, highly recommended. But like, do you listen to Meg Thee Stallion and you just go at it, or
I actually know Truly, some Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday,
Get the hell out of here.
Stevie Nicks. I mean, something that really, because if you want the truth, the God honest truth, I cannot stand making a mess. I am like extremely OCD. I'm not diagnosed, but enough to know that it drives me insane. Baking kills me. It drives me nuts. I want to jump out of my body the whole time I'm doing it. But I love art, and it's like I have to do it. It's my dream. It's my goals.
So let me just lay this down for America. So you're a baker. You love to bake, but you're OCD and you hate making the messes. But bakers are usually notorious for making messes.
I have not said I love to bake. That was not something that came out of my mouth. Anyone who knows me knows I absolutely hate it. I would say I'm good at it because I practice and practice and practice, and I don't do anything without being great at it. But once I can find a baker and I have the money, I will never touch a flour scoop, vanilla, nothing. It'll all be, here's your check, thank you.
Love you.
Yeah, love you. Give me the icing.
We love that. We love that. I'm a huge Ella Fitzgerald fan as well, by the way.
Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday is my, oh my God, I could just wake up to her every day. I wouldn't care. Stevie Nicks is someone I've been very fond of.
Who the hell is Stevie Nicks?
You don't know Stevie Nicks?
I ain't that what I just said. I have no idea who that is.
Show's over.
When we come back, tomorrow's forecast.
Oh my God, Fleetwood Mac.
I've heard of that.
Edge of 17.
Never heard of that. I was once 17, but.
And we'll be right back after commercials. We need to listen to some music.
Apparently, I'm uncultured, ladies and gentlemen. That's not the first time I heard it. If I had $1 for every time I called that, I would have a ton of dollars.
Who else? Elton John. Love Elton John.
It depends on what era of Elton John.
No, truly, because like if it's like 2021, I'm not listening.
I
to
mean,
Elton
not
John.
at all. Cause
No.
He sounds like a cat in heat.
No,
I'm sorry, Elton John, but.
I'm sorry, Elton John, if you ever see this.
Love you.
Love you today. But I'm not listening to your new album.
Period.
But yes, definitely the people that I listen to while I bake. I have to listen to sad, quiet music to mellow out myself. I'm already on crack. I don't need I don't need the hype. Maybe throwing a Cardi every now and then, you know. But
I don't know. Sis a little bit too ghetto for me.
no, sis is just enough. Like I might not look like it because I dressed up today. But I'm just a little, you know, not from Kettering too. My mom lived on Rosedale. Grew up in the West Side.
Your mom did you grow up on Rosedale or did you grow up in Kettering?
So I grew up in Kettering, but we had shared custody. So, you know, I would go back
we
and
love
forth, you know, so.
Because I lived in that same neighborhood. I lived off of Philadelphia.
Yeah, so sometimes I'd like play in my friends' like freshly cut grass. And sometimes I'd play with the needles in my mom's yard.
Okay. Oh man, this interview is going fantastic. I love it here.
They weren't, well, no, they weren't, yeah. I didn't use them afterwards, obviously. I got my own.
Like, we love that. Proud of you.
Thanks.
Very proud of you.
Thanks.
Frank Sinatra is my go-to. Always has been.
Oh, okay, I love some Frank Sinatra. I really do, truly. He's my vibe during Christmas time. I love his Christmas music.
I was about to say, whatever follows this determines whether this interview continues, because we do not do Sinatra slander here.
For my ex's birthday, I actually got him a Frank Sinatra CD. I made the cake really bougie, gold. I mean, it was stunning, and it was just such a serve, you know, obviously. But I would pick Frank Sinatra for Christmas.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Nice save. Nice save. We do not do Sinatra slander here. We do not. So what's your favorite thing to bake? Like, what's your favorite flavor? What's your personal favorite of your repertoire?
Yeah.
I would play the Jeopardy thank music, but that would be paying Merv Griffin. I do not have that kind of money, and I'm not getting sued.
Well, everything I bake is absolutely wonderful and delicious.
Got it.
The chocolate would probably be my best recipe. It's very moist, rich, salty, dark chocolate
Do you have
cake.
any idea how many people just cringed and almost threw up at the word moist?
It's so moist.
You are petty.
Imagine diving into a chocolate ocean. I can imagine that. It's delicious. It's like the perfect balance of dark chocolate, salt, and just the overall moist texture of the cake just brings it together.
But if you dive into a chocolate ocean, wouldn't that make a mess?
That's the kind of mess I'm trying to get into, okay?
I love late night television. It's great. It's great. I'm so tempted to try it, but I don't want to look like a fat bastard on the air. Did I just say that? I did, and I don't care because this is my show.
Oh, if you had a knife, we could totally cut into one.
Damn it. That we don't.
Well, I mean, traditionally, in Latina culture, for birthdays, we sing you happy birthday and then we shove your face into the cake. So, I mean, it could be your birthday.
Well, my birthday's not for another month and 2 days.
I mean, it's your laws.
Patience is a virtue. You learn that doing something like this. Patience is a virtue.
Oh, that is one thing that, so I've never been patient and I'm still not, but if I was more, it'd be now, you know.
So are you one of those kind of people like, I want it now, what the hell is taking so long? I want it now, let's go, today.
I'm the type of person who makes it happen now, so I don't have to wait for it to take long.
So you're one of those, to hell with all this, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, very much
Me
so.
too.
Yeah.
This is scary.
I
This
broke
is
up with
scary.
my ex, and the first of that month, that following month, I think it was only a couple weeks, I had all new furniture, completely decorated, new house. Something I had to do so that I can continue doing my work, but also something that I just like.
Needed to happen.
It needed to happen, but like when I was done, I was like, man, I'm a boss. I'm
As
a
you
boss.
should.
Yeah.
As you should.
Which like I didn't realize it, I guess. But
Or are you just downplaying yourself?
yeah, sorry, T. Anyway.
Oh, man. Oh, that cake looks so good. Now, you make me look terrible because I just get a basic-ass red velvet cake for my birthday and just call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, most people have basic ass cakes. That's why they don't like paying me for my not basic ass cakes.
Well, what you're making is art. It's not a cake.
Oh, it's not cake. I mean, I make it very clear I'm an artist first. You don't like my cake, suck.
Don't get me canceled. Do not get me canceled.
If you don't like my cake, suck it up, okay? And just take a picture of it. They are equally as delicious as they are beautiful.
Like, the clapbacks are rated E for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Huh?
I actually want to do a segment on my page making cakes that people don't want to pay for. So they request a cake, I tell them how much it is, they don't respond, then I see them post a cake a week later. I want to replicate every one of them and post them in an album.
I feel like that would be the move.
Cakes you could have had. Or something. Something catchy.
That would be one hell of a segment on a show.
I mean, I think it would be great.
I do too.
I would send them to them directly, like, well, sorry. Hope your other cake was okay.
Love you.
Love you. This might be a new catchphrase.
Why not? Why not? Everyone needs one. Just don't put it on a bumper sticker. They fade. That wouldn't fit you very well.
They're tacky. I don't
Very.
think stickers.
So, what's your dream? Where do you see this in 10 years? Where do you see this business in 10 years?
So as a designer, I'm a very visual person. I see the bakery, I see the marketing, I see the signs, the logos, the people in there taking pictures on my wall. I mean, I see it all. I actually stumbled upon a spot. The owner was going to foot the bill for most of the build. I had friends that were going to help me do most of it. I have it all drawn up. It's 3D drawing, completely designed and ready to go, and they underwent some electrical issues right when me and my ex were breaking up. So instead of putting my money into that, I put it all into my new house. But I mean, within the next 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, I don't plan on waiting 5. I plan on having a brick and mortar. There would be constant art installations that were interactive that you could eat off of. They'd either be hanging from the ceiling or attached to the wall or on shelving. You would literally walk into an art show every day. It either different or weekly, something. It wouldn't be a standard bakery at all. It'd be something really cool.
Honestly, I feel like that's what we need.
Oh,
Something different.
yes. These cakes are more... They're me. I think you can look at one of my cakes and you're like, that's a Mimi's cake. Like,
Edgy, avant-garde.
yeah, and extra bougie, just fancy in a way of like, you know, there's people that look at them sometimes and they're like, that's kind of weird. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're kind of basic. Makes sense.
That part.
Awkward. You're from Germantown, that's why.
Oh.
Or Farmersville, which is in
I forgot that town existed.
Yeah, I lived there. It's hard to forget.
There was Inglewood to choose from.
I lived in Brookville. That's where I just moved from. I loved Brookville, though.
I don't know, Brookville's a 50-50 with me. It's too far. I like being in the city.
It is far, but once you just driving as a psychopath, you know, like internally, driving home in the country every day was very nice because it was like,
I mean, we're all an internalized psychopath, but go off.
yeah, it was just like a nice change of pace from like everything going on up here. I wouldn't listen to music. I would just kind of drive home, and then the only thing I could say I didn't like about living in such a small town is it kind of made me complacent. I was very comfortable. We lived in a beautiful house. I didn't really need to do more, but at this point, like, it's all gas, no brakes.
We love that.
Yeah.
Full center, no center, that's the way to live. So where can we find you in regards to getting cakes and whatnot? This is not for me, this is for America.
Grinder.
I love this guy.
I'm kidding, I'm classy, I'm on Tinder.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I love that. That was amazing.
Okay. So, let me get a drink. I'm thirsty.
So is just about every single male of a certain community after this show's over with. But continue.
The straight ones, too.
Call it like we see it. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a problem. So I use my Facebook mostly because I'm old. I'm 25. Facebook is normally where you book your cakes for me. I have an Instagram. I would love to do pop-ups, but everyone in Dayton is unprofessional or tacky.
You just gotta look in the right place. You gotta look in the right place. It's not about what you know, it's who you know around here.
Yeah, I know.
You'll
a lot
get there.
Yeah. Let's not say everyone. Let me reel back. A lot of businesses that I have tried to work with that seem professional or not. You know, as a home business, I wouldn't say I'm the most professional in the world, but when I'm trying to work with another business,
There's a level of professionality there.
no, definitely. Like, I mean, even today, like, I had no idea what I was walking into, and I made sure that I prepared a good amount of treats. I went and got a suit. I don't wear a suit. I normally am just wearing my birthday one. And, yeah, here we are. That costs extra.
If the ratings for this episode are trash, I swear to God. Because this is just great. This is absolutely great. I haven't had an interview this great in a long time. It's been a while.
Well, that's good. I'm glad, because I thought I'd vomit.
Well, a lot of people that come on this show say the same thing. And this is what I tell you. When I first did my very first episode of the show, it was insanely terrible. It's okay. It's not your, this is not normal for you.
No, but I think it is. Like,
I mean,
definitely
once you
wasn't-
adjust to it, some people love being in the spotlight.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I just like to talk at a desk.
I'm definitely not, like, the one that wants to be the center of attention. I just draw attention. It just comes. So, my whole life, I've been the person that was told that. You always have to be the center of attention. I'm like, no, I am the center of attention. It's different.
I don't chase attention. Attention follows me, but...
Yeah. Like, you guys reach out to me, you know.
Well, I mean, you have to start a somewhat friendship somehow. I mean, that's kind of how these shows work.
It worked out great.
That
I was
habit-
late the first time. No, I didn't come.
Well, that's not your fault. Because when you think of late night television, you think...
That was such a funny mistake.
Sis, let's talk about that for a minute. While we're here, ladies and gentlemen, my beloved Mikey here, he thought I tape at 11:30 p.m. Now, you know I come on the air at 10, which goes into the late night category because I think someone else has the 11:30 time slot, whatever. But I can barely keep my eyes open past 9:15. So we, believe it or not, we were going to do an episode on this eventually, but it fell apart. Thanks, COVID. But we actually tape the show much earlier in the day, and then we do the editing, and then we roll it out at night. So for those that thought I taped at 11:30, look, why do you think I can stay up that late? I can't. But no, I do not tape at 11:30 at night.
Yeah, it was a funny mishap.
Even the Tonight Show doesn't tape at 11:30. They tape at 5.
It was funny, looking back, I was like, I've never understood 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. I always assume that they're 12, midnight. I always write 12 noon because I'm an idiot, so like that's what helps me. And whoever put 12 p.m. and I was like, oh, that's 12 a.m. because I work all night.
Yeah, I can't stay up that late.
Yeah, so I was up till 4 in the morning doing this.
I'm doing this show on 2.5 hours of sleep. I don't know how I do it.
Wait, you said you can't stay up that late?
I got home late last night.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
I normally run on 4 hours of sleep. That is my normal average sleep. 4 hours.
More power to you.
No, I'm dying. I just have a dream.
Like, yeah, I'm internally screaming right now. I feel like cheese that's been left out of the refrigerator and it's kind of soggy on your table. That's what I feel like right now. I feel completely dilapidated in every single way. I've been doing that since I started the show. I know it's not healthy. Mind your business. But 9 times out of 10, I think at one point I've done this show hungover, and that was rough. That was rough. I wish
did
we would have
drink
met.
yesterday.
I wish we would have met when we had the band here.
I did too.
Because we were lit. We were lit. Good God, we were lit. I miss you guys, by the way, if you're watching. But you are amazing.
Oh.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for being so accommodating and letting me take over your space and getting me out of here on time.
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
What do you think we are, Gym City tonight?
Definitely not. Who watches them?
No objection here. I'm terrible and I don't care. Toxic Scorpio shit. But we appreciate you being here, and by all means, please come back anytime.
Oh, yeah. I'll be back tomorrow.
Well, I mean, I won't be here, but by all means, if you want to bring the desk out and you want to play talk show host, knock yourself out. But,
I think I do pretty good. I wouldn't want to take the show.
well, I mean, it's really nothing to it. If you know how to hold a conversation and you're a very likable person, then you will do absolutely fine in this line of work.
Yeah, being gay, you're in a lot of first dates.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to. Something you learn to do.
That is something you learn to do.
Yeah.
Or else you won't make it long.
No.
But then again, Kimmel's still on the air after 18 years, so who knows?
I like it. I'm sorry.
See, I was about to go to commercial, but now we got to talk about that. Because
I like Jay Leno better. Is that worse? It's worse. Oh my God.
oh God. Oh, my beloved Mikey, my sweet, sweet Mikey. Let's talk for a minute before we go to commercial. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Can you explain to me why you think Jay Leno is the master race when it
I
comes
didn't
to
say he was a master. I just think he's funny. And can pay my bills. I don't know.
Jay Leno's funny?
Maybe not.
Is it staring at his jaw for an hour? Or?
So I used to watch Jay Leno with my father, who's my late father, my only parent. I don't know. We just watched it together all the time. It was a good show.
Jay Leno's a backstabbing bastard. I hate that man.
I mean, me too. But
No, he's on a whole nother, he's on a whole nother level. And we'll get into that later, but yeah, we don't stand Jay Leno around here.
yeah, me either. Who's Jay Leno?
He knows what to do to not get canceled. Mikey from Mimi Cakes, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back from the commercial break, a good friend of mine, comedian Drew Kirk, will be here, and he's going to try to host this show. I think he'll do it better than me, but I promise I will still have this show. But he may not want to leave my desk, but it is what it is. We'll just get him one. Equal attention cake. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Artemis Center is Dayton's domestic violence resource agency dedicated to serving survivors of intimate partner violence and their children. For over 30 years, Artemis has been providing supportive services to increase safety for survivors in our community. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. We know domestic violence can be confusing and terrifying. We are here to provide you with a personalized safety plan, resources, referrals, and a safe space to process your thoughts and feelings. No matter where you are in your relationship, if you're contemplating leaving or wanting to stay, Artemis is here to help you. We encourage family and friends to call us on the hotline. We understand how difficult it can be watching someone you love navigate their relationship when abuse is involved. Our dedicated and highly trained staff can help support you through a variety of our free, gender-inclusive services, which include our 24-hour hotline, support and education groups, therapy for children who have witnessed violence, therapy for adult survivors, accompaniment to criminal and civil courts, help in obtaining a civil protection order, and providing advocacy to aid in your situation. Remember, you are not alone and the abuse is not your fault. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please call our 24/7 hotline at 461-HELP, 461-4357.
Hi, I'm Ariel Winter. If you're like me, your pets are family. So when disaster strikes, you want to keep them safe. American Humane has tips to help protect our best friends in their worst times. So please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Welcome back from the commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Be jealous. We have sweets, diabetic coma. Let's go. My next guest is an amazing individual. He's been in my life for a couple years now. He's an aspiring comedian, an all-around fantastic person, and most importantly, a great American. Please put your hands together for my friend and yours, Drew Kirk. Drew, come on out here.
What's going on, buddy?
Thanks for being here, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, man. This is really something, huh?
That it is. That it is. It's been a while.
Smell good.
Thank you.
Smell like one of Steve Harvey's dreams.
Thank you. I don't have that much money, but I'll take that. So let's talk about you for a change. Who is Drew Kirk?
Well, Drew Kirk is recently fat. I'm new fat.
Relatable.
And actually, Allie just discovered that.
She's terrible.
She grabbed my stomach the other day. I was like, "Oh, babe, like you gained some weight." I was like, "Oh no, honey, it's been there." She's like, "No, you had a nice flat stomach when we met." I went, no, I sucked it in. I was like, "But the second you said I love you, and I knew you weren't going anywhere, bop, there
There
it
it
was."
is. There it is. There it is. So how long have you been in the whole stand-up comedy thing? Is this something you've always wanted to do, or were you always wanted to do something like this? Or?
Absolutely. I mean, either way, I mean, something like this would be amazing. But I mean, like, I knew I wanted to be a comic ever since, like, I mean, I was little. Like, when I used to go to, like, 4-H camp, and me and my counselor were laying in bed one night, and we just started just telling jokes to the whole crowd, or to the whole cabin. And I was just riffing off, like, jokes that my grandpa used to tell me, or ones that I've heard from other comedy specials, or maybe even, like, some that I've made up myself. And just getting that joy of making everybody laugh, making everybody happy was just awesome to me. And then I did the same thing when I was at tech school for the military, and I just love it, man. I love making people happy. Like, I love getting that laugh and really changing the dynamic of a room. Like, it's just fantastic to me. But I mostly get it from my grandpa. You know, my grandpa used to tell me that you got to take a shot in life. Kennedy did, and he was president. So, you know, I figured I'm doing something right somewhere.
Somewhere right now, Kennedy's rolling in his grave, someone's in stitches, and someone's pissed. Welcome to television, ladies and gentlemen, where no one's happy.
It's late night, you know?
There's a reason we come on at 10.
Exactly.
So growing up, who was your idol behind the desk? Because we've talked about this for many years since we became friends, which happened rather fast, and I'm glad it did.
Well,
It's
yeah.
one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. But we somewhat share the same comedic inspiration. We just kind of branched off and did our own thing. But I mean, nonetheless, I'm still very proud of you, and I think you're an absolutely amazing comic, and I'm pretty
Thanks,
sure
bud.
everyone else would
Appreciate
agree. But yeah, what do I know? I'm the rookie of the gang. But
Hey, me too. Trust me, I have no veteranism in
At
me
all.
whatsoever when it comes to, like, actual stand-up.
like the only place I have seniority at this point is here.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it. So, as I said before, when we first met, Letterman was a big driving force behind me. Conan was a big driving force behind me. I was more of the risky guy. Obviously, you're a fan of Johnny Carson. You love Conan. But
Oh, yeah.
that's something we
Yeah,
bonded
yeah.
over very heavily. So what was the late night scene for you growing up? Since we're both completely different ages and we witnessed different things at the height or the beginning of the end of someone else's career. So what was it like for you growing up?
Oh, it was Conan for me. I saw that big, tall, beautiful red hair,
And that was it.
and I was like, that's gotta
That's
be
the
my
guy.
guy.
That's the guy.
That was in the 90s when he still shot in New York. So, I mean, he was the one that I really wanted to be. But, I mean, like you said, I was a huge Johnny Carson fan as well, especially when him and Don Rickles would get together, which were hilarious. I mean, it's always comedic
Imagine
gold.
how bad the world would burn today.
Oh, if old Uncle Donnie was still on here.
Oh my God.
Oh, man, I don't know. Honestly, God rest his soul, I think he went out at a perfect time.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
He truly did. And but what's sad to think about, the only great comedian of that era we have left is Bob Newhart.
Yeah,
That's the only one.
actually, yeah. Yeah,
Because
that's
Bob
true.
Hope's gone. Rodney Dangerfield's gone.
George Carlin.
George
Gone.
I love that man.
Even, I mean, Norm wasn't that old.
Norm
but
Macdonald
even
was
Norm
hilarious.
Macdonald, dude, he's one of the funniest clean comics to have ever done it. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And he was another hero of mine. But then gone, man. We're finally starting to reach that age where people just start dropping like flies. You know?
Yeah,
Jeez,
it's kind of
man.
sad.
See, I'm 32. I got 8 or 7 years ahead of you.
Yeah, so you really got Conan at when he was still somewhat young.
Yeah.
For me, it was staying up past my bedtime at 11:35. As you know, I did not care for Mr. Cadillac Jaw, but not at all. I know what he did. You guys should too. But I stayed up, and it was Letterman for me. Letterman was the guy. He was the jackass that everybody loved. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to be that guy. I watched Arsenio's second time around. I wish he would have stayed. They should have gave him a chance. But Conan by far is my favorite. Conan was always my favorite. I would switch networks to watch Conan in a heartbeat. Craig Ferguson, he was funny too, and he does not get the credit he deserves. Craig Ferguson was absolutely amazing. The beauty of his show was that, and I think there's a lot of elements of his style in here that majority, if not all of it, is almost completely unscripted. Like, a lot of people don't know that until we talked about the show, but the most I'm firing at the hip off the top of my brain when it comes to this show. Very little is scripted here.
Well, see, that's honestly where some of the beauty will come from, though, is being able to just riff right off the top. I mean, that's where you'll get most of your comedic gold.
That is
I mean,
true.
I'll admit that when I do my stand-up and I actually go do my sets, most of it is written down, and I will take my notes with me. But I'm more of like a bullet point kind of guy, you know, like I'll write down a bullet point and just kind of just remember what it is and then just riff from there.
So how long have you wanted to be on the show and you didn't honestly tell me?
Oh, probably since the first day I found out that you were starting it, that you had space.
That was insane.
Yeah.
That entire process was insane. Life moved at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and here I am a year later, a little grayer, a little tired. I still love this.
Couldn't believe it, man. I was very proud of you.
Thank you. This makes me want to drink. It stresses me out, but it is not for the weak. I started this show at the height of the pandemic, so I've never actually had a full-blown studio audience, and I feel like that sets me apart from everyone else.
Yeah.
While all the major network shows were not allowed in the studio, I've been in my studio the entire time. The entire time.
That's
Nobody
the
else can
beauty
say
of doing it by
that.
yourself.
Big hell. Oh, damn, if only we had the band here. The band, you would have loved the band.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you would have loved the band. I got to get back on the ball and start getting bands back in here. But yeah, the band you would have loved the band.
I've watched previous episodes, of course, and the band always seemed great. And it always seemed like they added a little bit to the crowd as well.
Honestly, the saxophone leader, that was my Paul Schaefer. That was my Paul Schaefer.
Yeah.
We just clicked so well.
How about a little sax? Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And the thing about us was, I met them half drunk, but I was down in the Oregon district.
That's how we met. by the way.
Bingo. We were terribly drunk, but
Sang Sinatra too.
yeah.
To Allie on her birthday.
I did. That's a ritual now. I'm kind of pissed I couldn't do it this year because I wasn't home. I got you next year though. I promise.
He promises better.
Promise. That's the thing. Now I have to do that until I die. But and you and I are the same age, so we'll both be around for a long time. But we met each other actually. I was downtown in Oregon. I just so happened to hear a saxophone. That's one of my favorite instruments. I love jazz. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So I follow the sound and I see this group of band geeks, and you would have never thought this sound would have came from a bunch of band geeks. And that's where the rest was history. The rest was history. Like the joy and the happiness they brought me doing this show, they made me want to tape 7 shows in a day, even though I don't have that in me. But they made this so much more enjoyable. Because if I fire something at 9 times out of 10, they were faster than me.
They kind of have that instinct.
And one thing about me in this show is, if you got something to throw in, by all means, the floor is yours. This isn't just about me. This isn't my show. This is our show.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of on a Tom Snyder kind of thing, so now it's just me again. And it's an adjustment. I'm getting used to it again. It's an adjustment. I do have breakup issues and, separation anxiety from the band. We still keep in touch. I do love them dearly. They're doing fantastic things. But
the band leader moved to Vegas, right?
Yeah, he moved to Vegas. I'm so
Yeah,
proud
good
of
for
him. You have no idea. I am so proud of him.
That's incredible.
But at the same time, I do miss the homies.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Like, it always hurts when you have to move away. Because, I mean, I've moved all across this country. And so, I've made friends in Mississippi, friends in New York, Texas, Oklahoma. And, you kind of get this bond with them. And then when it turns out that either they have to move or you move, dude, that can hurt.
It hurts.
But, hey, all you have to do is just appreciate that. Hey, at least I got this person in my life for that time period.
That you did. That you did.
I got you.
Yeah, I'll be here for a long time.
You young buck.
Yeah, that I am. I am the
Out here looking like one of these Mimi cakes. Man, I got to re-download Grindr, get a hold of Mikey.
Oh, man.
That cat was something else, man. I liked him.
Don't get me in trouble. Oh,
It's
man.
incredible with these young crowds, and like they're actually inspirational. Like how I was when I was younger is so much different than like how people are now. Like when I was younger, like me and my friends were just messing each other up just nonstop.
So just
Like
you're
when-
knocking the piss out of each other all the time.
God! Like when you remember that old Kobe commercial where he jumps over the Corvette?
Yeah.
Which, R.I.P.
We love you.
A buddy of mine was like, "Hey, I bet I could do that." We go, "Jack, please. You don't stand a chance. There's no way." He goes, all right, well, I might be able to jump over it, but I bet I can run on it. I was like, okay. I was like, how fast do you think he was going to that commercial? Like, maybe like 25? So we drive by him, do a little test speed on him. He goes, man, that seems pretty quick, because 25 is a lot faster
It's a clip. It's a lot faster than you think.
So he goes, all right, we'll drop it a couple miles per hour, and I think we got this. Well, he and I had already been fighting, like, for that week. Like, he and I were already mad at each other, so I was like, I'll drive. Like, I want this chance.
You hit the shit out of him.
Oh, I might have gassed a little bit there at the end. And, man, I'll give it to him. We were driving the old Buick, the old Maroon Melody. And I'll give it to him. He got that first foot up, but then he took that windshield out in a second. Kids aren't doing that anymore, man.
Yeah, we kind of can't. That's vehicular homicide now. You guys kind of attempted. You kind of ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, he's fine. He's doing great. He works at Honda. I mean, he's got a little bit of a lisp now, but he does yoga. He can't stop eating cheeseburgers, but he's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
If he likes it, I love it.
Yeah, he's doing great. But I mean, dude, there's lots of old, just childhood memories that I just love to just rethink, like Chuck E. Cheese, and how that's not around anymore. Like, I won't be able to take my kids.
It's kind of sad.
It is, but honestly, that had to have been coming.
I think we've seen it coming.
Like, you're a pizza restaurant, and your mascot is a rat. Like, that can't.
That has Ohio Department of Health written all over it.
Dude, there's so many. There's got to be so many health codes being violated just by the mascot.
Jesus Christ.
But that was that back then. I have 5 brothers and sisters, so we would combine birthday parties. You can't just keep chopping these up throughout the year.
No, that's 5 kids. Yeah.
So it was Chuck E. Cheese every single time because it was $5 bucket of beers. That was when you could get tanked at a 6-year-old's birthday party.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember one time of my dad started yelling at Chucky himself, but he wouldn't call him Chucky. He kept calling him just Chuck. He goes, Chuck. Charles, where you going, man? Come here. and he goes over to get him, and he spins him around so fast that the body moved, but the head stayed the same way. So he's like,
Flipped you the hell out.
man, this poor kid. It was probably like some 17-year-old kid, just trying to make enough money to buy a car so he can get away from somewhere. And my dad tortured this guy. But now I'm sad that I don't get to do that. You know, like I want to yell at the band, that automatron band.
Yeah.
Like I don't get to do that with my kids.
I used to scare the shit out of me as
Dude,
a kid.
those bands were insanity.
Oh my
That
God.
was so terrifying. Like they just glare into your soul. They have that,
And I'm like, oh,
that terrifying look.
like you don't even want to celebrate your birthday anymore. You just want to go.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. I honestly can't believe they lasted as long as they did.
That's insane.
And got is super famous.
That is true. You know, times are changing. You know, we hate change. We really do. That kind of reminds me of like that talk we had about why I think that Jimmy Fallon wasn't the person I think should have got the Tonight Show. But you know, audiences are changing.
Yeah, Fallon was
I
an
love him.
interesting choice.
I love him.
I'm about to say, I actually do love Fallon. I think
On
Fallon
late
is really
night.
fun.
Late night, that was his
Yeah.
niche. 12:35, that was his niche. He did whatever the hell he wanted, and it worked. But theoretically speaking, and we've had this very deep conversation before, when it comes to that 11:35 time slot, there's a certain structure you have to follow. It's kind of like graduating high school, or kind of like graduating junior high and moving into high school, or maybe going from junior to senior year. There's a certain way, and there's a certain format, and there's a certain shape you have to fit for 11:35.
Yeah.
11:35 is a huge deal in this business.
Absolutely.
A huge bit. I was kind of pissed when I couldn't get the 11:35 time slot, so I had to settle for 10. But it works. It works for now. But
You know what you might need is a sidekick. You're looking for an Andy Richter.
that I am.
Yeah,
Gets a little lonely over here.
I bet.
Well, not speculating anything, but that seat's always open.
I tell you what, man. I mean, it'd be a
They're
great
quite
honor.
comfortable chairs. So.
I gotta
this
say,
is my
yeah,
this is
they're
my
not
first time
bad.
changing chairs in the year and a half I've done this show.
Yeah. Yeah, you change backdrops too. I really like that Asian feng shui one that you had.
Yeah, we had that for a while. I think everyone that starts a show here uses those curtains,
Yeah.
and I used them for the longest. And I finally said, you know what? I think it's time for a change. So I mean, being here, it kind of opens up the room in a way. It's kind of weird because the studio's is such a perfect rectangle, so it's not really a way to finagle with it. But there is some major stuff in the works. We're looking at a backdrop. I won't spill the deeds because then I'll ruin it for them. But on the commercial break, we will. When we come back from the commercial break, someone else is going to be sitting in this chair. We're going to see how he does on a late night talk show. He's wanted to do this his entire life, so now we're granting that wish, and he's going to get the opportunity to do it. So you guys sit tight. Go charge your phone because it's probably on 2%, and all the good TikToks are going to be gone, and it's going to refresh. So you go do that. I'm going to go to the bathroom. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to go to the bathroom.
Actually, yeah, I got it. I was just gonna say, man, hold it, but never mind.
Oh no. Need this damn thing.
How's it going so far? Great. You recording anything? No, just I got this thing. Jack.
You can just grab your mic. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You have your mic, or is this yours right here?
Mine's right here now.
Okay.
Now, when you're done with the interview, we can both close out the show. I usually do it on thank my guests or whatever.
Dion,
You.
are you, how are we doing this next segment? You just coming over and sitting down?
Yep.
Handing to you, or?
Well, we'll just do the same thing we did with him, and then I emerge, and I'll come on in the room.
So
You
you're
want-
emerging, so we had,
Yeah, I'm emerging. He's going to interview me.
You want me to introduce you?
Yeah, if you want. Hey, this
Yeah.
is your day.
Yeah, of course.
But
okay, hold on, let me, you are coming from behind the curtain.
yeah, I was coming in the room from behind the curtain.
You get on my fucking nerves. All right, hold on.
Oh, wait, I know I do this.
But yeah, usually that's how I do. I want to thank my guests, X, Y, and Z. Tune in next time from all of us here at the Night Run, and then we just both say good night, everybody, and that's it.
Okay. Is there a time limit?
Not really. I mean, we have an hour and 18 worth of footage right now.
Damn. Okay.
So, I mean, we can get in like a 10-minute or 15-minute
But that
interview.
also includes like the random shit.
Right. Once we cut that down, I
Yeah.
think we got a solid show. But I can't read. Why can't I figure this out? I feel like an idiot.
Leon, look at the screen real quick. This look good to you?
That looks absolutely great.
Okay.
Look at that handsome man, dude. My boy's got the tickle for the nickel.
And all you got to do is hit
One more
start.
time, is this cool?
Yeah, that's cool. All you got to do is hit start on the timer, and that's what you watch when you do the interview.
Fantastic. Oh, wait, which one's, is that's my camera? And
Yep.
That's yours. Okay.
And then we're ready whenever you are.
All right. Fantastic. Welcome back to from the commercial break, folks. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. Unfortunately, the previous host was sent to Guantanamo Bay, so I, Andrew Kirk, will now be taking over for the night run. My next guest is a hilarious man. He's a great comic. He's a great host. He's actually back from Guantanamo Bay. My man, Dion McElrath.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome back.
I mean, that traffic was terrible, and that line at the store was long, but I'm pretty sure that someone's dad said that to them, but we won't get into that.
Yeah. What? I mean, you have a side job, don't you?
I am.
You have a primary job as a truck driver.
I am a truck driver. TMC Transportation, black and chrome, baby. That's all we roll is Pete 579s. We're always shiny, always clean, always flawless. Can't mistake us for anybody else. You hear that, P&S lines?
PNS, take notes.
Please take notes. Wash your trucks. Or actually get trucks we're talking about, but yeah.
So how did you get started into that?
Believe it or not, unlike this, that's something I've always wanted to do. I've always been fascinated by big machines growing up. Believe it or not, I wanted to be a bus driver at one point until I realized I hate people. Yet I'm a talk show host. Ain't that a bitch? But
Listen, I couldn't imagine being a bus driver for either kids or adults.
I don't like other people's kids.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I love children. Don't get me wrong. I love children. I love my daughter. But there's only so many children I can tolerate in a tube with 83 other children inside of said metal tube.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
weighs 26,000 pounds. I can't. Like, I'm not surprised more bus drivers don't have a drinking problem. They probably do.
Oh, they do. Oh, mine did. I'll tell you that right now. But I mean, I was going to school in the 90s and early 2000s.
That was acceptable back then.
Oh yeah, she's chain smoking. I mean, everybody in the bus was chain smoking.
And that was the norm.
That's just what you did when you were that young.
But it was something I've always wanted to do, and I'm actually a second-generation driver at TMC. My father started his truck driving career at TMC back in 2014, and I rode along with him every chance I got. So, and once I seen how well they treated my dad and the kind of, they call us the Marine Corps for a reason. We're very culture stroke. Well, we believe a lot. We have a culture. We're kind of like a cult. I'm not going to say that we're not, but we do have a culture that we do follow and we stand by very proudly, and there's a reason why we're the best flatbed carrier in the business and we're the flatbed carrier of choice. I'd rather not door swing. I like to stay slim and sexy so I can fit things like this, because cameras automatically add 10 pounds to you, and I don't want to look like a big ass Clifford.
Oh, I added 10 pounds myself. I do it to my damn self. But I'm also the best cook that I know.
Bingo.
That's something that I love.
That's nothing we can debate about. That's nothing but facts. It's nothing but facts.
Yeah.
But TMC was something that I saw then the fleet manager, his fleet manager at the time is now my fleet manager. So I told her back then on my dad's last week with TMC before he moved on to another company, I told you I'm going to drive for you someday. Don't know when, don't know how, but I'm going to drive for you someday. And now here we are, damn near 8 years later. Here I am driving for her with my name under the door of a black Peterbilt 579. And to me, a lot of people, it's just a job to a lot of people, but to me, there's more to it than that. It's me, it's my story now. I'm finishing what he started.
I mean, it's got to be great. I mean, well, I don't know, except for traffic accidents.
You know what?
People riding right on your tail, so you can't see.
Now that you brought that up, Cincinnati, let's talk for a minute, you bastards.
Ooh.
I can't stand you. And there's a lot of cities when I was in training. My trainer, he was a great guy. I went all over. And there's only one city, actually 2 cities I cannot stand. Out of all the cities I've been to, there's 2 cities I cannot stand to drive through. Atlanta on I-285.
Oh, Atlanta.
And New Jersey, anywhere near New Jersey. New Jersey sucks.
Well, Jersey's just
Jersey
a
sucks.
dirty, greasy,
It smells terrible.
weird town filled with terrible, 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 terrible people.
It's
awful.
desolate. If the book Stephen King, you ever read the book by Stephen King, Desperation?
I haven't.
I highly recommend it. If the setting of that book was a place, Camden, New Jersey would be it.
Man, I was thinking more like Hoboken.
Hoboken ain't too bad. I mean, the Italian mafia is no longer as big as they were.
It was
God rest his soul.
horrible when I left.
We love you, Sinatra. But he's from Hoboken. But
Yeah, see, that's something else I want to talk to you about. How did it? Because when we first met, we met at the hot air balloon up there in Vandalia. Shout out to the hot air balloon.
We love you
Nikki,
guys.
Christy, Amber, love you guys. And when we first met, like I just love being around fun people, and it looked like you were having a blast. So I knew that I had to come over and talk to you, and it actually happened to be my girlfriend's birthday that day, in which you dropped a sweet little number from Sinatra down as a celebration. How did that happen? How did you get into Sinatra?
honestly, I ask myself the same thing all the time. My parents always said I was an old soul, and I've always appreciated Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, who's from Steubenville, Ohio, by the way.
Yeah.
Bing Crosby, Perry Como, Andy Williams. There's just so many that I care for, and to me, that's me. That's me. That Sinatra, I can identify with that man. I love that man.
I'm not
I really
throwing
do.
any hate. I mean, I absolutely love Sinatra. I love Tony Bennett.
He's still with us. Believe it or not, he's the
can't
last
bel-
one.
I can't believe it.
It's
He's
insane.
he's got a bit of a questionable past. He said some things on air that's a little rough.
Yeah,
But it was the '60s. It happened.
it happens. Trust me, it happens.
Yeah.
But
But I'm sure people would hate him today.
eh,
You think?
I don't know, because Sinatra was one of those kind of people. He was kind of like the Johnny Carson of music. He brought people together at the end of the day. And ironically, believe it or not, I was born in 1997, and he died in May of '97. I was born in November of '97.
Man.
So it's kind of scary when you think about it, how we're all intertwined in some way, some form. And I don't know, I guess people like it when someone of this generation appreciates Frank Sinatra, let alone belt it out and actually hold a tune. Which I usually can until I'm extremely drunk, and then it's questionable.
No, it's the
But that's everybody. But
It's the same thing with me. Well, to me, I start to sound better the more that I drink. But when I start looking on the faces of the crowd, they really start to hate me. But hey, I'm still bringing people together.
One
You
way or
know,
the
like
other.
everybody wants to cut out hate and stop hate everywhere. But it's like, man, sometimes hate will bring people together. Now, how the pointy-hatted gentlemen down south do it, that's not exactly
That's not
not
okay.
exactly good
Not at all.
in any way. But sometimes
It's
like,
okay to be different.
like when you're at work and you always have that one coworker that you never get along with, but you two both hate the same person. It's usually like a Randy. It's almost always Randy.
Everyone has a Randy.
Everyone has a Randy at their work. But
Right,
like no
Chuck.
matter what it is, you know, like you might be disagreeing with your coworker on one thing, but then Randy walks by, and then now you guys get to bond together for the next 20 minutes about how much you hate this person. Sometimes hate can bring people together.
In some ways, yes. In some ways, yes. I had to watch how I worded that because that's going to determine where my career
Oh
goes from
yeah,
here.
no, that might get me in trouble. Hopefully not the show.
But it's different. It's different nowadays. I hate being generalized in the sense that because of the generation I belong to, my mindset is that way. That's not entirely true at all. Not all millennials are Democrats or Republicans. I really don't care who
No.
you vote for. But what you are going to do is you're going to respect me. You're going to give me the same amount of respect that I give you.
Absolutely.
I respect every single man because we all bleed the same, we all look the same, and we probably go through the same thing. You're not that much different from I am. My thing is, we all come from different backgrounds. You don't know my story, I don't know yours. So what is it my place to tell you whether or not your opinion is right or wrong? You're allowed to have your opinion.
100%, absolutely. My view has always been, as long as you're not hurting anyone's persons, property, or anything like that, be who you want to be to the fullest.
You know, one of the
do whatever you want.
One of the big pieces of advice, one of the things I'll always hammer on when I have conversations with people, it costs you $0 and 0 cents to mind your own business.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We forgot, as a country, we've forgotten how to mind our own business. Everyone wants to be an activist now, and I feel like that's the problem. Everyone wants to be reactive. Nobody's being proactive. Nobody's brainstorming solutions to the problem. Nobody's trying to work to fix the problem. Everybody wants it now. Everybody wants it now. Everyone else wants it now. That's not how life works, in case we haven't realized.
I mean, don't you kind of feel that we almost did it to ourselves, though? Because now we have all this social media, which...
Social media was a
I
blessing and a curse
definitely-
at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's
It-
one
it-
thing.
It started off as great with Tom and MySpace. It started off wonderful.
But once it goes downhill
And
and nobody catches
it
it.
just got so much worse just because of the poison that can come from humanity.
And now it's to the point to where, what do we stop people from saying? What don't we stop people from saying? What's okay? What's not? I mean, there's just so many questions now that we just have to find answers to on the fly, and that's usually doing more harm than it is good.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a problem. There's a huge divide in this country, and we just need to go ahead and just address it for what it is. In regards to a lot of events in the past that some folks, the other ethnicities or whatever, a lot of people will deny it or they'll try to gaslight it. And there's no gaslight. It happened. It's documented. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
America has done some really sketchy stuff. More than I would probably know. I'd probably be up to my eyeballs and stuff that I didn't know about what's happened in this country. And the world likes to hammer down on us as a country because we're an easy target. But it's all fun and games until someone over there, like Saudi Arabia, gets pissed off, and then someone calls North Korea, and North Korea starts sending bomb threats, and now you're calling us to pull up with the USS John F. Kennedy, and now we have to come save your ass.
Or Rocket Man.
But it's kind of sad the way our society has gone. No one likes to be a decent human being. I feel like we've criminalized being a decent human being. It's like being kind to people is went out of style. That's sad. It truly, honest to God, is. I've never met such selfish people in my life. And the problem is people aren't living as if it could be them. That's a huge issue. Everyone thinks, well, just because it happened to him, it's not going to happen to me. Believe it or not, it might happen to you. You never know. Life is a bitch. Life's a
Life
bitch.
can suck if you let it.
I mean, because if you get too full of yourself, life has a very good way of humbling yourself. And that's something I bring to this. As easy as I got this show, I could lose it.
Yeah, unfortunately. I feel like a big problem in America right now is that people always want to join groups. They always want to be in their clique. they always love going to I'mRight.com and just to reassure that their point, and yet there's no actual communication going around.
We
And
listen to respond. We don't listen to understand. And that's
Yeah,
what's wrong with this society.
That happens a lot.
And it's aggravating. It's absolutely frustrating.
It's infuriating.
Because just because you voted for X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z reasons, that doesn't make you a bad person. I don't know your story. I don't know how you process life. I don't know what you've been through to form your opinion. So who am I to tell you whether you're right or wrong? Educate me. Don't belittle me. Because that won't get you anywhere. That won't get you anywhere at all.
Exactly.
And then, I mean, the same thing in show business. You'll have people that's been doing this longer than you have, and everyone thinks, well, you know, we all get along. Actually, we hate each other. Most of us hate each other. But believe it or not, there's other shows out here, other guys out here that do this besides myself.
Like, there's another night run show?
Well, Ann Arbor Tonight with Zach Damon.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very nice guy, very nice guy. I like him. He airs on YouTube, I think Fox Sports 1 in Michigan. He's an Ann Arbor fan, but I allow him because he's a decent guy. I think there used to be Tonight in San Diego. I don't know if they're still airing anymore, but they had a show going on for a while. I know there's more out there. I just don't know who exactly. But there's actually a young lady by the name of Bree. She's a good friend of mine. She's helped me out on the show several times. She actually does a variety show called Baby Biscuit Town, and I think it's a very great. It's amazing. It's absolutely. It gives very heavy Carol Burnett vibes.
Oh.
Yeah, she does sketches, all
Good
kinds
old
of
Carol
stuff.
Burnett, man.
Yes, I love Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
Vicki Lawrence, Tim Conway.
It's insane. You were born in '97, yet you have one of the oldest souls that I've ever met in my life.
I do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm debating on purchasing the Merv Griffin Show box set off of eBay right now, just to binge watch it in the truck.
You know, sometimes Allie was born in the same year I got. I wish you would get my references, and it never happens.
Well, I'm always a firm believer that people meet each other and people come into your life at a certain time for a certain reason. And maybe there's a reason why I'm in yours and vice versa. We just don't know yet. We may not figure it out tomorrow or the year after that. We might not figure it out 15 years from now. But just know there's a reason.
I think we got a big clue just from today, just from doing this.
Pretty much.
I think we're here to lift each other up, my brother. I think this is it.
This is what we do. This is what we do. I enjoy doing it. I love doing this show. It actually sets me apart because someone this young into late night in general,
Yeah.
typically an old person thing.
Absolutely fantastic.
Like, I am currently the youngest guy hosting a television show right now.
Are you really?
Actually,
I can believe that.
because I'm younger than Zach. I'm younger than the other guy that did the other show here that won't be named.
Snuffleupagus?
Snuffleupagus, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But as of the major networks, I'm the youngest of everyone on the major networks. So yeah, I'm the baby of the bunch. Yeah. I'm younger than Trevor Noah. I did not know he was that old, which kind of shocked the hell out of me. But I like that guy. I would like to see him get the Tonight Show. I think he'd be pretty good.
I think Trevor Noah's all right.
I think he'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he's an all right guy.
But you know, there's some things I do and don't agree with.
Well,
but
of
overall,
course, yeah.
he's a witty guy. I like him. But what makes me, this is my next question. Who do you think is going to replace James Corden on the Late Late Show? Because, you know, his contract's coming up, and I don't think he's going to renew it. And CBS has to throw somebody in there.
Who has a chance at that? See, that'd be difficult. I mean, there's so many.
Because think about who had it before. Broadcasting legend Tom Snyder, he had it.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Snyder had it. Craig Ferguson had it. I think Regis Philbin filled in.
Yeah,
at
Craig
one
Ferguson
point.
we talked about earlier.
Regis. I mean, a lot of people. I think everyone loves Regis, and that was one celebrity death that hit me hard.
Yeah.
I loved
It's hard
Regis.
to not just be in love with him.
How do you not love Regis?
Yeah.
It's Regis. He's over the top. He's funny. He's a lovable guy.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, he retired on my birthday.
Really?
Yes, November 18, 2010 or 2011 is when he left Live at Regis and Kelly.
Oh, yeah, now it's, who is it, Shannon?
I don't even care. Because I didn't like Kelly Ripa anyway. But I watched it for Regis. If I was homesick, I watched it for Regis. I loved Regis.
I mean, I kind of liked Kelly because she was always catching, you could see as the show progressed, she was just catching that buzz.
I mean, she was catching the
Yeah,
ball. I feel
chasing
like
that
him and Kathy Lee was the more dynamic duo.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Him and Kathy Lee, but I mostly watched it for Regis. I loved Regis. Regis, in his relationship with David Letterman, would crack me up all the time because they would just go at it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And that, honestly, another big heartbreak is when my hero, Conan, retired. And I feel like I've known that guy forever because I watched him evolve on late night. And then when it broke on NBC Nightly News, Conan O'Brien's getting the Tonight Show. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, when he came
shit.
back.
That's a huge deal. Like, my boy's getting the Tonight Show. So I binge watch. Actually, I have to send you a link to the website. There's where someone managed to preserve majority of his episodes on the Tonight Show. And Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. That was my favorite. I hate Triumph.
You know, I don't think that he'll get it, but somebody that I would like to see on TV again, he used to have a late time show, actually right after Conan, was Pete Holmes. And I thoroughly enjoyed Pete Holmes. I thought he was a very funny comic. He's great with his guests. He has great bits throughout his show. I mean, I doubt that he'd get it, but I would love to see him get back on TV in a interview kind of way. Because I thought he was a great host.
Want to hear something crazy?
What?
I want to know someone that's very infamous for another show that once had a talk show before Letterman came to CBS.
Who?
Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak?
Pat Sajak.
From
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune?
He
Yeah.
had a talk show. He
Wait,
had a
he had a talk show?
Yes, he did, for a year and a half.
Where at?
It was on CBS, believe it or not. The Pat
I gotta
Sajak
look
show.
this up.
He was trying to compete with Johnny Carson, and we all know you just can't. You just couldn't. You could
No.
beat Leno. You could beat
yeah.
Leno. You could beat Jack Pard. Nobody
Well, I
beat
don't
Johnny
know,
Carson.
He's got a strong chin, but you
He
can
has
still
a strong,
beat Leno.
but if you got the nice right hook, you could jaw him a couple times and you take him out the game. But
Yeah.
yeah, Pat Sajak had a show on CBS. I feel like they should have gave him. But I like Pat Sajak. I really do.
Oh, I think Pat Sajak was hilarious. Him and is he with Vanna White?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they're getting ready to retire here in a couple of
Yeah,
years.
oh, yeah.
I'm not okay with that at all. But Arsenio Hall, he changed the game for everybody. He was another big inspiration behind me because if he can do it, why can't I?
He was a great host.
He was the first man to get in that time slot and have that on and hold his own. That man hated Jay Leno. Arsenio put the dukes up. He really did, and
Yeah.
he held his own for 5 or 6 years.
That was a good show, man.
Like-
He was unlike anyone else. Like there was not.
His
there was not
show
another
was a
late night
party.
Show. That was the same.
Because 11:35 was mostly suit and tie,
Yeah.
buttoned up, not the Arsenio
your
Hall
prompter, your
not the
cards.
Arsenio Hall
No.
show. That was a party.
Yeah.
Arsenio was a party,
Yeah.
and that was amazing. That changed the game for all of us. It really did, and it paved the way for people like me to do my show. Or Amber Ruffin, she has a show on NBC streaming services Peacock, so she has a show. Larry Wilmore, Wanda Sykes had a show at one point. Can't remember when, but it happened. Joan Rivers, she had a show.
Joan Rivers.
She used to be best friends with Johnny Carson until she got a show, and then they fell out and they never spoke again. I'm trying to think of who else had a show. Mike Douglas. A lot of people don't know who Michael Douglas is. Jack.
Oh yeah, no, I do remember Mike Douglas now.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. The only reason I know Mike Douglas is because of the grandmother from the Clumps. Yeah, Mike Douglas was the only white man that made her moist. That was the best line in the whole movie.
And, Merv Griffin. That's another one that people didn't know had a talk show. I like Merv. Merv was different, but there's a lot of history in this, and everyone else they can name off the starting lineup of the North Carolina Panthers or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But yet I can name everyone that's had the Tonight Show. In order.
I mean, dude, that's an incredible talent.
Like, in order. I mean, it started with Steve Allen, Jack Pard, Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, and Jimmy Fallon. And I feel like that's, believe it or not, there's a
And Kimmel.
museum. No, Kimmel's, he's on ABC. He's on ABC.
Oh, okay.
But he's not funny anyways. But
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I could probably go without Kimmel. I mean, I liked him on The Man Show.
he had his moments.
Yeah.
He had his moments, but Kimmel, yeah. Why the hell did Seth Meyers get the late night show? He was funny on Weekend Update. He was absolutely hilarious on
Yeah.
Saturday on Weekend Update. Who gave him the show? Why?
A really good
But he's a witty
manager.
man. He's a witty man, and I will give him that. Sometimes we need wit. We really do. Stephen Colbert is another one. He's great.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about Colbert.
Yeah.
He started on
Yeah, the Daily Show.
The Daily Show
And then,
as a reporter.
Yep, and then he got it.
It was hilarious.
Then he got the Colbert Report, and then he finally got Letterman's blessing, and he took over at the Ed Sullivan Theater. And I'm going to New York next month because I'll have a 3-day weekend off for my birthday. I'll be 24. And I'm actually going to see if I can score tickets to either a taping of The Tonight Show late night or The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Just not just for Stephen or for Jimmy or for Seth, but more importantly, 30 Rock 30 Rockefeller Plaza and at the Ed Sullivan
Oh, that's
Theater.
gotta be like a
that's like
beacon.
that's like the cathedral
Yeah.
of television right
Oh,
there.
God, yeah.
The Ed Sullivan Theater, that's the cathedral of television, and I feel like that's something I need to do. Well, I went to LA.
It's like your northern light.
Pretty much. I went to LA in January of this year, and I actually went to go visit Johnny Carson Memorial Park because I felt like that's something I had to do. I actually went to the old studio. NBC sold it now when they merged with Universal. They're down at Universal City, Studio City and Universal Studios. But there's a bench that has his face on it. It's a memorial bench, and it's called Johnny Carson Memorial Park. And his studio, where he taped the Tonight Show from '72 to '92, it's right there. It's right there in Burbank. It's right there in Burbank. I felt like this is something I needed to do.
So is this a show that you would like to keep building here in Dayton or possibly move it somewhere?
Well, I am the 937 until the day I die.
Always.
This is my home. The Gem City is my home. It will always be home, even though home is not all I know. But
Yeah.
this is my home.
Might not be the prettiest
No,
one. but
it's a
home.
little ghetto here. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little ghetto. Y'all kind of piss me off with the things that you do, but I love you nonetheless. The peak pissed off was when we got a juice bar on Dead Man's Curve on North Main Street. Who the hell's drinking organic juice over there? Everyone's over there just drinking 40 ounces of 211 and Schlitz.
Yeah, they're definitely not drinking them at Nabali's.
Not
I got robbed there once.
good old Nabali's.
Good old Nabali's.
Oh, good old
The only
Nabali's.
place where the only supermarket where the workers wear body vests.
Pretty much.
Oh my God! But I mean, hey, there's still
Great
I mean,
great cuts of meat.
Oh yeah,
Great cuts of meat.
oh yeah. But I
So-
mean, it's still the Gem City.
It's
I mean,
home. You got to take the good for the
yeah.
bad, and everyone. And that's what pisses me off is when these mayors come in from other big cities and they don't Los Angeles my Dayton, don't Columbus my Dayton. Dayton's
Yeah.
Dayton. You accept us for who
Yeah.
you are. You keep it that way, or you can leave. That's the way I look at it.
But I mean, you can always find beautiful spots. Like over on Canal Street is gorgeous, part of Dayton.
Canal Street,
Everything over
Deeds
there.
Point,
Yeah.
down by the river, at the top
Beautiful
of the
part of
hill,
Dayton.
looking down at the city at night. We have a beautiful skyline, and I pass through here quite a bit in the truck. And the skyline is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it honestly is.
But to go back to your question and ask me as you want, we are looking at syndication in other cities. We will be in this studio for the foreseeable future. However, I do know a person. Whenever large gatherings can be allowed, if I manage to rustle up that many people that want to watch 52 minutes worth of a talk show being created, there is a possibility I could be moving to an auditorium to do this show and actually have a stage and an actual auditorium for folks to sit. We've looked at that. Also, I looked at getting a backdrop and whatnot, and we'll go into details after we're off the air for that because I don't want to spoil it for those guys. But
Oh yeah.
we looked at syndication. We're going to start doing remotes at craft breweries, zoos, stuff like that. So we're finally about to spread our wings because I think I mastered the whole desk thing. So it's time to really guest host. I've been looking at that here recently. I think I've been on for a while. I think it's time that's something I want to try, and maybe take a step back and watch someone else do it for a change. A game show, me hosting a game show that has been floated
Now,
around.
See, that's something that I would love to do. Is to
And-
host a game show.
And if I ever find if anyone else wants to partner with it and I find enough buzz generated by it, we could make that happen. So that is in the works. A game show is in the works. Well, it's on the back burner, but we'll see. Would I host said game show? I don't know. I mean, I kind of have my hands full here, but I'm starting out. If I ever create this and I don't have a host by then I'll do it. But
Dude, I really hope everything works out for you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for letting me do this.
It was my
Thank you for
pleasure.
coming on to the show, man. This was an absolute tremendous honor.
And I'm glad I was the one.
Thank you so
Let you
much.
live out your dream.
Thank
You
you.
come back anytime.
I hope so. I
Absolutely.
definitely intend to.
I want to thank my guest tonight, Mikey from Mimi Cakes. He was absolutely a hoot, so to speak. Probably the funniest person I've met in quite some time. I've never met someone that's more fast-paced than me at my own desk. But hit him up on Facebook. He has delicious creations. His cupcakes are absolutely to die for. Highly recommend it. Of course, Drew Kirk here, sitting at my desk because this is weird looking to the left for once. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you. Thank our executive producer in the control booth, Sierra. You're the GOAT, sis. Thanks. Dallas does the booking. And from all of us here at the Night Run, good night, everybody.
Good night.